It's been through number 1A rough, which is 4570 or 4670, and it's been through 1B rough. I'm trying to find the prairie agate. There we go. So this is what it looks like out of the bag when I get it. When I get it in out of South Carolina, out of South Dakota. All varies in different sizes. Pretty cool banding. A lot of times, to know what a stone's going to look like when it gets polished, is get it wet a little bit, and you'll get a kind of an idea of what it's going to look like when it gets polished. You start to see some of the more of the colors, so on and such forth. But we're getting ready to go to 120, 220 grit. So this is just a quick rinsing and all of that, because it's all silicon carbide. All right, if you want to come over here with me. So all of this is changing up grits. You're not really in the polishing mode yet. You're still shaping. There's going to be a very bright light coming on. There you go. Now, if we were running a vibratory tumbler, you would have done this part. Number 1 rough still gets done in a rotary tumbler, and then you can start number 2, which is the 120-220, and a vibratory. So, but even though it's silicon carbide and stuff, you still want to clean your can out pretty good. You don't have to get every single bit, but you want to get it as clean as possible. And again, I mentioned it in another video that I don't know if it's actually gone out yet or not. Not sure if I actually posted it yet or not, but one of the biggest things with this stuff is not to drain it into your sink drain. As Bahamut just showed you, all of this water that's going through this utility sink is going into a 5-gallon bucket that I dump outside. It's not anything that will hurt the ground, but it will certainly mess up your septic pipes, because this grit will all harden like concrete inside your pipe, and then you're pretty much calling a plumber to have new pipes put in your house. So it becomes a very expensive thing. So as you can see from the coloring, there's your South Dakota prairie agate. You get some stuff that's really, really pretty. A lot of tans and beiges. For those of you who can't say beige, we got beiges. So, but it's still a very pretty stone. I like to tumble my stones and leave them like a little more natural. You know, not tumble them so much that you polish out or tumble out all the natural look of the stone. And you get a lot of different characteristics of the different stones themselves. So if Bahamut stays right over here for just a minute, I'll go grab a couple of the rough ones and I'll be right back. I'm not quite sure exactly how well the camera will or won't pick up the difference between the unpolished, completely unpolished or untumbled rough and then the getting ready to go to second number 2. You know, they're not polished at all yet, but they've certainly been shaped. The biggest thing that you're going to notice is, if you look, there's no sharp edges. They're all nice and smooth, whereas these have sharp edges and cracked, you know, cracks and sharp points and stuff like that. So all of that stuff has been gone away with off of this. So, and one of the biggest things is not to let this in this form dry out, because if the stones dry out, if there is any grit still on them, it will dry right into the stone and you'll never get it out. So you wanna just keep them wet all the time. That's a really pretty one right there. Almost looks like a Mexican crazy lace agate, that one did. And between steps 1A and 1B and getting into step 2, you're going to lose about 20 to 25% of your stone. And you're going to end up with a whole bunch of little stuff like this also. That's all just stuff that is broken off and ground off and everything else. I just keep throwing it back in. All the other little project things that I work on and stuff like that, when the batch is all done, whatever has survived the full run in the batch goes into a little bag, and anything that I might be working on for a little project, I'll use all the different stones and stuff. And I couldn't always tell you what they all are because I just go with whatever they are that's in the bag. All right, go back over to the table. So at this stage of the game, you're still breaking down to to grinding. You're not polishing yet. Each step brings it closer to being ready to polish. And without doing each step, you're not going to polish. So we're a little low on our stone with what we've gotten rid of or chewed through. So I always keep some other stuff, and this is the same hardness. This is a tree agate. So I always keep a couple of pounds of stuff that I've done to the same level. And these have been, so they're ready to go into 220 and being a vastly different color, we can always easily tell the difference between the stone. And that about fills it right back up to where you want to be again. Matter of fact, that one's a little big, so maybe we'll swap that one out for a couple of little guys. And remember too, little guys, you need some little ones, even if they're going to do nothing more than just, they're going to tumble down to nothing and be a little sacrificial. You still need that. You need that in your tumbler to help get a good polished product in the end.